Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of This Week on iRacing. Today we're going to start off this series by covering a 12-hour endurance race around Mugello. This is the Creventic Endurance Series. Now, it's been running for a few years. Normally do about 3-4 races a season, and they're quite spread out. And they are this year as well. But the big difference this year is removal of a class, and they've actually added another class as well. So the TCRs are no more. They've removed the TCRs from the series, and they've added the GT3s. This weekend, we have a 12-hour race around Mugello. We've got GT3s, GT4s, and Porsche Cup cars. Now, the weather for the event this weekend is very, very interesting if I try and show you now. If you have a look, there's a 40% chance of rain. So if you have a look at the forecast here, clouds and precipitation, you can see it starts off low when about the race starts, which is about 12 p.m. in game, just 13%. Goes up, it drops, and then steadily increases to a very high, I would say, personally, 40%. Now, that does start to drop again, but then it does increase near the end of the race to 43%. So, I think it's going to be wet. I don't think we're going to have a 12-hour race with that percentage of rain and it not actually happening, but we'll see. There are two time slots for this event, as you can see. Saturday 29th of March at 1 a.m. GMT. Check your time zones for what time that is for you. And there's one at 1 p.m. Saturday 29th as well. But like I said, it's a Creventic Endurance Series. It's a series that I always enjoy, but this year should be even better because they've added GT3s now, and TCRs are no more, and the schedule's pretty damn good as well. So to start the week off, well, to start the season, I say start the season, it's week 2, isn't it? But yeah, a pretty damn awesome. We had Sebring 12-hour just gone, and now we've got another 12-hour this weekend. I expect it to be relatively busy because GT3s are in it now. The weather might put some people off, but it won't put me off. I think it's going to be good fun, and hopefully you boys and girls will enjoy. Okay, so next up, we're going to cover the IMSA series. Now we're going to cover the IMSA Open, the IMSA Fixed, and the Global Endurance Series, the 6-hour series. So let's start off with IMSA Open, shall we? The 45-minute race. Obviously, multi-class, like they all are. But we're going to Algarve this week. Now, this is a bit of a strange one for me, because I felt like we've literally just left here. I feel like this was one of the later races in the previous season, so I don't know why we're back here so early. It seems a bit of an odd decision to me. Because of that, I think it's going to be quite quiet. I do think it's going to be quite quiet. It was quite quiet last season. Even though this is a great track, it really is a good track, it doesn't get the love it deserves, and the participation levels aren't normally that great when we head here. So even though it is IMSA, even though we've got the 45-minute race here, I don't think it's going to be that popular. Now, the weather for IMSA Open, I do believe, rain chance-wise, is around 30%. So there's a chance of rain thrown into the mix as well. Now, as popular as the new time model is with the GTPs, I think we're going to struggle to get multiple splits during the day. I think we're going to have to wait evening/afternoon time if you're going to get more than one split for this. The Fixed, I believe, has a 0% chance of rain, so you don't need to worry about that. Whereas the endurance race, again, has around 30% chance of rain. So, yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this week. Like, I love IMSA. I love this combination, but just not that many people do it. So it kind of drags it down a little bit. Now, hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong and that the participation levels are through the roof, but I know from experience it's not particularly high. We'll just have to have fingers crossed. So IMSA Open, around 30% chance of rain. IMSA Fixed, no chance of rain. So if you want to race this combo but you don't want any rain, do IMSA Fixed. And then you got the 6-hour at the weekend. Again, around 30% chance of rain. I think that'll be decent. I think I'll probably do the Sunday slot. See how we get on there, because I'll be doing a 12-hour on Saturday. So IMSA this week, meh. I don't know. Good chance of rain, but not too high. Good cars, good tracks. Should be decent, but for some reason, just not that popular. Okay, next up, we're going to cover the GT3 stuff. So the GT Sprint, the GT3 Fixed, and the GT Endurance. Now, annoyingly, I would talk about these kind of series with a bit of AI in the background. But the problem is with this new UI update, I can't do that anymore, and I don't know why, so we're gonna have to find a way around it. But for now, we'll just have to speak like this, because normally I'd go into the schedule, click on Go Racing, and race against the AI, but for some reason it's not quite working. I'll talk you through it anyway. So yeah, the GT3 stuff, we are gonna go to Watkins Glen this week for the GT3 sprint stuff. Interestingly, again, there is a chance of rain. So in the sprint, you're not going to quite see it here, but there is around a 27% chance of rain for the GT3 Open. Slight chance of rain. 1 in 4 races, supposedly, will have a chance of rain in it. Also, as well, it starts at 6 p.m. So it's going to start at about sunset time. Whether we will get the transition or not, I'm not quite sure, but it's going to have a chance of rain around 20%, and it is at sunset. So I assume it's to do with the new lighting system. They want to show it off again, so it's going to be quite interesting, especially if it's raining as well. Should look really pretty, though. For the fixed, I don't believe there's any chance of rain at all. And for the GT3 Endurance, I believe that is the same. But we'll just double check that for you. So I'll go to the GT Endurance here. We'll go to what's again, and you can see there's a 0% chance of rain. So that will go into the night again. It's kind of sunset vibe, so should look very, very pretty. But GT3 stuff, go to Watkins Glen. Open will be like chance of rain. Fixed won't have any rain at all. And then the GT3 Endurance Series, that won't have any rain either. But do be wary, races will start at sunset and the Endurance Series will go into darkness. Okay, next up, I would like to cover the Ringmeister Series this week. We are actually, of course, going to Nürburgring. It's the whole point of the series. But at the moment, we have the Super Formula Lights, which I think has been really, really good. But if we have a look at the schedule for the races that start next week, we actually have the GT3 class. Now, it might be a bit boring, a bit samey, because the GT3s, you know, it's very popular for them to go to the Nürburgring, so it's not really anything particularly special or different. But considering we have the Nürburgring Endurance Championship returning next week, this could be a good prep for it if you want to prep that early for the 4-hour/6-hour series that is returning as of next week. But yeah, GT3 cars next week at the Ringmeister. So if you're looking to get your license up, this could be a good way to go about it. But Ringmeister, GT3s, I expect this to be quite popular. Okay, next up, I'm going to cover the Falcon Sports Car Challenge. I absolutely love this series. If you don't participate in this series already, I highly, highly recommend that you do, because the LMP3 cars and GT4 cars together, they're just brilliant. They're absolutely fantastic. GT4s are extremely popular, and LMP3s are such good fun to drive. They really, really are. They've got a lovely kind of mix of power and downforce, so I definitely recommend giving the LMP3 a go. Now, schedule-wise, we're going to go to Sebring for this week. Now, what's interesting about that is when I've done this before, it is good fun. It really is good fun. Race time is going to be at 7:40 p.m. So again, it's going to be at sunset. It's going to be essentially dark as soon as you get into the lobby, I think. So do be warned that it is going to be a multi-class race in the dark, but it should be good fun. There's no chance of rain for this week, so there's no chance of rain for it, but the LMP3 and GT4 lovers, I think you back me up on this one. This is a really, really good combo, a giga combo. I actually prefer racing around here in an LMP3 than I do in a GTP or an LMP2, which is quite crazy. Falcon Sports Car Challenge and the GT4 series, of course, LMP3 series as well. They're all heading to Sebring. There's no chance of rain in the Falcon Tyre Challenge, which is good. Should be a good laugh. It's at sunset. Should be good fun. This is looking like a very good week, I have to say, for this week in iRacing. Good job. Okay, and lastly, it's a very busy week this week. It's actually really, really good this week on iRacing. We have the Porsche Cup Series. They're going to Monza, which is pretty epic. This combo is always popular and is a great laugh. Can be a bit stressful at times because it's so easy to die in one of these things, especially at Monza. So it can be stressful at times, but it's very, very popular still. The Open has a 27% chance of rain, whilst the Fix has no chance of rain at all. So the Fix will probably be a little bit more popular than the Open just because there isn't a chance of rain in it. But yeah, I gotta say, it's one hell of a week this week, honestly. There's so many good combinations to pick from. And the fact we got a 12-hour this weekend with the Creventec Endurance Series, it's just a banger of a week, honestly. It's like it's really close to a 10 for me. I think if IMSA just maybe had like a better track combo, as much as I enjoy Algarve, it's just not that popular. So if it was just a bit of a better track pick in terms of participation, I'd have to say this week would be a solid 10 out of 10. But for me, because IMSA's missing a little bit, I'm going to give it a 9. But apart from that, absolutely mega. Yeah, Porsche Cup cars at Monza. What's not to like, man? Okay, so to finish off the episode, we have the honourable mentions list. So these are the series that don't quite make the list for me personally, but they might be enjoyable for you. So if you have a look at the Formula C, so the F3 cars, have a look at the schedule. They're going to Algarve, so bit mixed. I mean, I think they'll be very, very good at that track, but participation-wise, I don't think it will be fantastic. And then we have the Super Formula Lights. Now, if we have a look at the schedule for this, again, you go to Algarve. So Algarve is quite popular. So you got IMSA and you've got Formula C. With the Super Formula Lights going there and the Super Formulas, of course. So the Formula cars, I don't think it's going to be the best this week for you guys, but should be somewhat decent. And then if we have a look at the sports car stuff as well, if we have a look at the production car challenge, Willow Springs, now that came out and I think it kind of just flopped immediately. I'm not quite sure why, but who knows? It's the production car challenge. That series can make any track popular, I suppose. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think there's anything major that I've kind of missed here. I'm sure you boys and girls will let me know in the comments if I have. But overall, a good week. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of This Week on iRacing. Sorry that the AI in the background wasn't as apparent as it should have been, but it's just a UI glitch thing at the moment. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. As always, hit the old like button on the way out, subscribe. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care, boys and girls.